If you want controller mechanics like this video is exactly where to start. Let's improve your controller mechanics. Be sure to join my Discord server, link in description, and let's get right into it. The key thing you've got to realise about mechanics is controllers are the underdogs. Everyone expects keyboard players to have the best mechanics, but no one expects controller players to have flashy mechanics. However, it is possible, and when it happens, you get controller players like G-Money, Reet, and Miro, some absolute goats of the comp scene. The first tip is something small I've got that slightly reduces input delay when you're playing a controller. This is in settings, and you may have this setting or you may not have this setting. So go into settings, go to the second last tab where you put in your binds, and where it classifies what input you're on, you're going to go down and put it on general mode. This reduces the input delay as opposed to having it on the specific mode, i.e. Xbox controller or PlayStation controller. It's just overall a bit better. While you're over there, you're going to check you have optimal binds on. You're not going to become a controller go editing on B, which is the default setting. You're going to have to edit something a lot more optimal like L-stick or even with a paddle. L-stick is universally the best edit button, although if you're on a PS controller, the touchpad could also be an option for you. In terms of binds, guys, I always say that if you have the option to play on paddles, then you should always do it, and if you have the option to play with claw, even if you don't have paddles, I'd suggest you try it as well. The more optimization the better in terms of controller, honestly guys. I do have a video on my channel about optimal binds, so if you want to check that out based on what controller you're on, go do that once you finish this video. But for the second tip, I've got 3 creative maps that you can use to improve your mechanics. The first one that I suggest you start warming up in, and the one you start your days in, is this one right here. It's a free build map that gives you 0 input delay. Go check it out. The map code will be in the description on the screen right now. Then after you've free built for a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes, or even 20, a lot of people like to rebuild for quite a long time when they get online. But once you've done that, you're going to head into Raiders Peace Control map V3. This map is one of my favourites because even if you know the drills, they're still pretty helpful just to get your mechanics warmed up, and there's also Peace Control tunnels at the end, which are super useful for getting consistent mechanics. Honestly, one of the best maps in my opinion. And finally, the Jive and Practice map. This map can work on your aim, your tunneling, your Peace Control, you name it. It's one to go in after the other one because there's actual bots in Jiven's map, so you can then practice it on the bots over and over again after you've done it in the Peace Control map. If you want to improve your mechanics before you go into ranked, or even before you play a tournament, this is definitely the way to do it. Those 3 maps, 100%. If you found this useful so far, use code JKC in the Fortnite item shop, but that's #1 way to support me, and let's get in with some more tips. A lot of people stay at the same mechanical level of controller because they don't really push themselves. They stick with what they can do over and over again. I want you guys to be learning a new move every single day. Every time you hop online, I want you to learn a new move, a new building move, a new optimal edit you can use in game. Anything like that would be perfect for your needs, improving your mechanics. There are lots of building move tutorials on YouTube, and I actually have a couple on my channel depending on your skill level, but just one new move a day and your mechanics will soon be pushing far past what you thought was possible. If you want to improve your mechanics, then Zone Wars is by far the best thing to do. I'm not talking Zone Wars as in 30-player Zone Wars. I'm talking about Zone Wars as in 1v1 Zone Wars, 2v2 Zone Wars, or 3v3 Zone Wars. These are some of the Zone Wars that professionals run all the time, and they're going to be the most effective towards your mechanics as they include lots of high ground retakes, constant fighting, and even some box fights in some cases. On top of this, it promotes map conservation and fighting other players at the same time. What is there not to love? If you run 1v1, 2v2 and 3v3 Zone Wars consistently, your fighting is going to improve so much I can't even explain it. You can even try implementing the new skill you've learned that day into the Zone Wars. You can set yourself a challenge. Today I'm going to get high ground using this new retake. It's such a good way to improve, and you're always going to see pros in these maps. To have good mechanics, they also have to be super controlled. If you have pretty fast edits but at the same time you're really fast with your sensitivity and always flicking around everywhere, so much so that actually harms your gameplay, I suggest you stop, lower your sensitivity, and take on a more controlled fast mechanics role. Since controlled players only have their thumbsticks, you want to be controlled, because that's going to help you win the most fights in these situations. I was talking earlier about retakes you can do, and these are some best retakes you can do on controller. Watch the video right here, it is a banger, honestly guys, you're not going to want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one, join my Discord, link in description.